I'm gonna show you how to make ravioli, which is just one of the best applications for fresh pasta that there absolutely is, because it creates like a little pocket of just like spectacular flavor. And we're gonna make a filling out of fresh shrimp, bacon, Calabrian chili, and basil. And I'm gonna show you how to make a really fantastic vodka cream sauce to tie it all together. It's incredibly simple, but it's really, really delicious and effective. Are you ready? Starting with the dough. You're gonna use 2 whole eggs and 7 yolks. Okay, so we're gonna add a little bit of olive oil to this, salt. We're gonna go ahead and just kind of whip them until it's completely incorporated. And we're gonna add 2 cups of all-purpose flour. We're gonna add a little bit of salt to the flour. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna make a well, and you wanna make a well that's pretty wide. All right, we're gonna add our eggs to the center, and then you're gonna slowly start to incorporate the flour. Pull a little more flour in. Pull a little more flour in. So we're basically just kind of sloshing some flour into the center. All right, so when it gets really, really sticky like this, right? And then you're just gonna take the palm of your hand, right? Yeah, so you wanna roll this out until it starts to kind of come together and make sure it absorbs all of the flour and it feels nice and elastic and it doesn't necessarily feel sticky, okay? And we're gonna let this rest for a couple of minutes, right? Keep the air off of it, and then we're gonna throw this into the fridge, right? So if we tried to roll this out right now, we would roll it out and then it would shrink back, okay? All right, guys, we're gonna take the bacon, cut this up into big pieces, okay? Pound of shrimp, 3 strips of bacon, 4 Calabrian chilies. They're like pickled in oil, they're so tasty. All right, a little bit of oil on top of that. We're going to zest some lemon, super bright. We're gonna add a little bit of salt, and then we're gonna take all this over to our food processor. We're gonna grind this up raw because it's gonna cook in the water. If you had to, I would hand chop this before I put it in the blender. Blender would liquefy this. So take a look at it. See how creamy this is getting? All right, so nice big handful of fresh basil to this. And we're adding the basil last because we don't want it to brown, okay? All right, so guys, we're gonna use a deli container, and we're just gonna wrap our pastry bag around this. So we're gonna take our filling, and be really careful with the blade here, okay? You don't wanna waste any of this. All right, twist it up in the back, and then we're gonna cut a little tip. All right, guys, ready to roll this out? Lovely. We're gonna take this, we're gonna cut this in half, and then we're gonna cut the halves in half. So we're gonna make sure each little piece, each quarter, is well floured on the outside. We're gonna pre-shape this into a rectangle, and then we're just gonna roll this out, okay? All right, that's the first one, okay? And we're gonna do this one more time. And then the moisture will start to rise to the surface. So every time you turn the numbers up to get a thinner pasta, dust it with a little bit of flour before you move on to the next one, okay? So 1, 2, 3, and then 4. All right, and see how this is starting to come out? Isn't that beautiful? So you know you're in a good place when you can start to see the color of your skin through the pasta. Flour, so it rolls through nice and smooth. Right, that's 5. Okay, we're done. So start from the top, okay? So you're gonna take the ball, all right, pre-shape it into a loose form rectangle, just like this. Run through 1 twice. 3 to 4. Back down again, flour. Boom. All right, guys, check it out. So we have 2 beautiful, perfectly rolled out sheets of pasta, okay? One's gonna be the top and one is gonna be the bottom. So we're gonna take a little bit of just room temperature water and a pastry brush, and we're gonna brush the bottom. And I want you to think about placement, right? So we're gonna use these ring cutters. So that's gonna give you a pretty good idea. You see how I'm marking this? Mm-hmm. I know exactly what I'm gonna get out of it, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, perfect. And then we're going with our filling. Boom, right in the middle, okay? Cool. All right, next sheet on top. Same deal with the water. Okay. Very carefully just start to lay these on top. Start to shape these out a little bit. You gotta get the air bubbles out. Hot air is gonna expand and it could possibly pop, okay? Then we're gonna take our big cutter, custom cut all of our raviolis. See how I'm taking my thumb and I'm just making sure that all the sides are really, really secure. So we're just gonna hold these. This is semolina flour, all right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so if you find like a little air bubble on one of these things, because it'll happen. Yeah, there's one. Okay, let's show you this. Force it out to the edge. See that? Super duper delicate. So the next one, we're gonna make a beautiful tomato vodka sauce. All right, guys, so the shallots, right? So we're gonna cut the tip off. We're gonna leave the hairy end on. We're gonna cut it right in half, okay? We're gonna peel the paper off. The hairy end is gonna keep the shallots intact while we dice them. I'm gonna go and start turning my pan on. Garlic, you smash it, pull the paper off. We're gonna finally mince this stuff up too. Boom, all right. Cherry tomatoes, pop these right in half. Because this will be the bulk of the sauce. Okay, we're gonna strip the thyme right on top of all this stuff. All right, guys, here we go. Extra virgin olive oil. And tomatoes are gonna go in. These are gonna start to juice down. All right, we add a little bit of salt. All right, a little bit of fresh cracked pepper. All right, guys, so we got a really, really lovely sauce. Our water is coming up to a boil here. You definitely wanna make sure it's a boil. So this has to be very, very, very well salted, okay? So you're gonna rake all of our yummy stuff into the back. You'll pull out your vodka. Be careful here. Take the pan off of this, okay? All right, and light it up. All right, so let the vodka burn off. You have this sort of bright alcohol flavor there now, right? And then we're gonna have a little bit of Calabrian chili paste. It's not anything that's gonna blow your head off. We're gonna hit it with some cream, okay? And let this start to break down. So we're gonna garnish this with some fresh basil. Now dig this, a couple of drops of lemon in this, right? All right, we're gonna drop these in. When they float, they're done. Because it's shrimp and the bacon's like finally pulsed down in this, these are gonna take no time at all to cook. Check it out. Ravioli. A little bit of this pasta water. You just wanna throw just a tiny touch in that. I'm so happy with this. You guys ready to plate? Nice evenly dispersed, okay? Basil leaves. A little bit of cheese, if you please. A little bit of olive oil on top. This is my shrimp and Calabrian chili ravioli with tomato vodka sauce. Wow. Wow, we got a little hot kick.
Just enough.
Tiny, tiny.
Yep.
It's supposed to be there, right? It just fits. Everything
That's
just
full
fits.
grown, man. I dig that.
Thank you very much.